gone over 4,000 yards passing now for the year.
It's the Lions and the Bears.
Next on Madden NFL 23.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's a black and blue matchup in the NFC North between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Brandon Gaudin joined by Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Lions in this matchup. It's a relatively balanced offense. The next-gen stats kind of bear that out. What do you think they'll be looking to do in this one?
I think it'll be exactly what you just talked about. They'll want to be balanced on offense, which means to them, they'll want everyone involved. See if they can get some one-on-ones in the passing game. Maybe identify some situation where he can swing the ball to the backs in space. Even find some spots where they just want to play some old-fashioned power football. As one of the most successful coaches in the league told us once, the definition of balanced offense, that means you can do what you want when you want to, not necessarily just running it 50% of the time.
Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from Ford Field. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the second-year man from The Ohio State University, Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
But we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early second down and long. Another try after the first down sack. Fields, sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Throwing on third down, Fields. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack, and they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 7th-year man out of Cal, the top pick back in 2016, Jared Goff.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. A little juke. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 60 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
A first carry now. This is Williams. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Lions at 4-11 on the year, and they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
And the Lions are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. If you make the stop there, maybe it's a king of 3 in this open drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That's on the tackle, Penei Sewell. That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. Back to throw, Goff. Open man right side is St. Brown. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Goff now looks to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do now. The key, holding on to that attitude because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a 1st down. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the 1st down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
Fields on 1st down. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 18 carries, 59 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked to him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
Finding his way down to about the 35-yard line. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
On first down, it's Fields. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. There's the option going left on 2nd down. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
They'll run with Montgomery. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and goal, Fields got a man and he hits him in stride. The ball mere inches from the right line on 3rd and goal. Now Fields. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. He loses a full 5 yards there on the sack, and it also brings up 4th down, 4th and goal.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Well, Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
Robert Quinn in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Go off a handoff here to Swift. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here comes the Lions punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Here comes Pettis on the return. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bears take over.
Well, we're probably not the first, but all of us at EA Sports certainly want to wish you and yours a happy and prosperous new year. And as a celebration of that, a big slate of NFL games on this Sunday, Week 17. Second to last weekend of the NFL docket. Later tonight, the battle for... nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
To throw is Fields.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Here's Brett Kern now to punt this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
First down, and they go with Swift again.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Off play action. Here's Goff.
That throw taken in by Jamison Williams.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 44-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Goff throwing again. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Goff on first down. And it's complete to Mitchell. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Looking to throw again on second down. Goff. And his throw here's incomplete. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on third down. From the gun, here's Goff. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Delay of game, offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still first down.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. This is Swift on the counter. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Tackling's obviously critical down near the goal line. That was great work there to make the hit behind the line and make sure he doesn't get any further. Did a really nice job wrapping up and not letting him loose.
It's second and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Gone. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Ross St. Brown, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Lions go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. But now the Bears coming out as they get ready. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. On second down, Montgomery. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So if they can win again here in Detroit, they'd pull off the season sweep.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss.
From the gun, here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first. Now, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want him to catch the football first.
From just shy of midfield, Fields over the middle, complete. That's Osborne. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Throwing on 2nd down, Fields. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Amon-Ra St. Brown and the rest of the Detroit Lions getting set for another series here. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware.
There he goes, right side. 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Badgley on for the extra point. And it's 21-3. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Williams to return. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Lions will take over. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Pick up there, 20 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now a first down throw. Gone. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To the air again. Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Goff now to throw. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Badgley's kick is good. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Back to the air, Fields on 2nd down. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Goff now looking to throw. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. It's a busy Week 17 of the regular season, so let's get right to it. We get started in 2023 down in Georgia. Arizona paying the New Year's Day visit to Atlanta. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the 2nd quarter. Next, we head down to Houston to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Davis Mills has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And they did have some success running the football in those first 2 quarters. And that might be something they continue to work on as they try to get back in this game. Meanwhile, for the Lions, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
To throw again on second down. Goff. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now Goff. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in. Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, more problems defensively. The face mask adds 15 yards.
And this has really been an undisciplined team. We've seen them make a lot of mistakes similar to this. It's a big reason why they're down so big on the scoreboard.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down of the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to go incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Another shot now for this Lions offense. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Goff. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. On the move past the 40. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Goff now looks to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Goff. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Michael Badgley on for the field goal. A 39-yard attempt.
Badgley able to punch this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the third quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 two-point conversions? That's difficult.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Chicago offense set to get started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields sliding out of the pocket. That's caught by his tight end, Trevon Wesco. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Holding. Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Following the penalty, Montgomery.
And not much room to speak of. They'll get about 3 up to the 41.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Out of the gun, Fields.
Rolling to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Chicago. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
DeAndre Swift heading back out with his Detroit teammates.
He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
A handoff, Swift running to the left.
Dodges him at the 50. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
But you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now Goff. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
The tackle made at the 12-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
The tackle made at the 6-yard line.
Goff on 3rd down. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff. And the Lions have opened the lead up to 30. The partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Fields on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. That's Montgomery. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. To about the 35, second down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he'll be stopped at about the 38 after a pickup of 4. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We're always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. This offense so far on third down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
When a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. He'll get this up to about the 44. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Up the middle, it's Williams. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. Open man there is Collins, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 41-yard line. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive. There's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now it's gone. Flushed out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Roquan Smith. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Chicago offense set to get started. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields got his man complete over the middle. It's Osborne. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
First down, Bears.
From the 50, here's Fields. Got an open man, it's Pringle. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. To the air again, Fields. He'll find Harry on the right side. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26. Fields now to throw. Throw caught there by Osborne. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. To throw again on second down. Fields. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. On first down, Fields. And that nearly their first pick of the game. But it falls down to the ground, incomplete. On second and 10, Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught 11 on the field. Those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
Throwing again is Fields. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Fourth down, Fields has to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Lions will take over. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
On second and 9, Goff. They'll find Swift out of the backfield. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Goff and Williams hooking up there for a Lions first.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Have confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
That's good. For the Lions, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Once again, it's Swift. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Kyler Gordon stopped that play before it ever got going. Great job.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 35-yard line.
On 2nd down, Swift. 123 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks.
They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to them and keep picking up good yardage.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions.
Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for the Lions, they move to 5-11 now on the